Aloha. It's your favorite friend with questionable character. Aloha, Mr. Hand. Brought to you on this fine Monday, December 28th by our friends at From the 108. And of course, powered by Jack Daniels. So I wanted to jump on today to talk about a couple of things. Talk about the Padres, the Cubs, and the White Sox. There's been a lot of activity today, if you will, on all three fronts, to be completely honest with you. The Padres just obviously trying to be the offseason champions. Acquire Snell late last night, early this morning, whatever time it was, and then also recently acquired Yu Darvish and Caratini from the Cubs for a package of basically prospects. What does this signify? This signifies a couple of things. First, it signifies that the Padres are throwing all their chips in. They're going for it. They are telling the Dodgers, hey, we're coming for you. Will it work? Will it not work? We don't know. That's why you play the game. But I love the aggressiveness of their organization to go all in using that talent base that they have and bolting onto it to attempt to win. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about winning. It's all about play. It's all about the ring. The ring is the thing. If you don't have this, don't mean squat. Ask the Dodgers about that. Their struggle to get there all those years, they finally got to the top of the mountain in 2020. I'm sure they would tell you the ring is the thing. What does it mean for the Cubs? I don't see how you can take it as anything except that the Cubs are rebuilding now. That they have basically folded up the tents and are taking a step backwards for a couple years to replenish the system and rebuild. I don't know how you can do that. You just traded off your best pitcher, his personal catcher. Yes, you still have Contreras behind the plate, but at this point, the Cubs are signaling that they are slashing payroll and trying to replenish the farm system. So there is no point for them to have Contreras or Bryant or Hayward, if anyone will take that contract, or even Baez there. I mean, the only thing with Baez is there's been rumors of him signing a long-term extension. So if you can get an extension done with him, sign it. Otherwise, you need to ship him out. Because a lot of those guys, and I think Rizzo too, all go to free agency at the end of 21. So if you can get greater value than a draft pick for them, you seriously have to consider trading them at this point in time, because you're obviously signaling that you're taking a step back. So now, with that being said, how did the White Sox play into all of this? There's been a lot of back and forth going on Twitter today about the White Sox in this regard, and I do have to say I have added some things out there that I have said. First, let me say this. I am not jealous of the Padres getting Blake Snell or Yu Darvish. Not jealous of it at all. What I am jealous of is the fact that ownership is willing to go out there and be aggressive to address needs and try and win. They are shopping at, Neiman Marcus or whatever else, whereas the White Sox seem to be shopping at Kmart or the Dollar General store, however you want to put it. My frustration with the White Sox is simple. My frustration is that they talk a big game but don't deliver. It's that they have a chance to put their foot on the neck of this division, make their luck instead of hoping for it. Go get a frontline pitcher. Not a Jose Quintana or anybody like that. And yes, it sounds like I'm picking on Quintana. In a way I am, because he signifies part of my issues with the White Sox, in that they're always looking at that deal. And I'll give you another example of looking at the deal. Remember the Machado negotiations a couple years ago? Do you remember why the Padres got involved? Let me give you a little history why. Because the owner of the Padres kept hearing how he was going to the White Sox, but never actually saw him sign with the White Sox. So he knew there was something going on and decided to jump in and get the player. That's why Machado signed with the Padres. And again, let me just be clear, simple lesson for everybody. $300 million guaranteed is greater than $250 million guaranteed, just in case anyone's still confused about that. But that's one of my major concerns with what the White Sox are doing again this offseason. I think they're, in some respects, they're playing games with some of these guys that they need. I don't want to say they need a guy, but they need to fill a hole. And I think there are two holes that they definitely need to fill. Right field is one, and closer is another. There are other pieces I'd like to see them bolt on. I'd like to see them make the bench a little bit stronger, and I would like to see them make the starting rotation a little bit stronger. Because I think relying on the Ceases and the Kopechs of the world and the Raylos of the world could be a big mistake. You're placing too much. You're taking on too much risk there, in my opinion, and that's a little bit of my day job getting in the way of this. But they need to go out and attack the off season. You know what? Some of these guys might be getting a little nervous. Go out there and say, hey, how about this deal? Here it is on the table. Here's your chance. Sign now or we're done. Don't play around with this. You got burned once by it and you weren't prepared for it. And if you think, and don't tell me they were prepared for it and everything else, because you had two executives on your team with different stories to the media within an hour of each other after the announcement came down from Machado. So don't tell me you were prepared for this. You weren't. You got caught with your dick in your hand and you didn't know what to do or how to say it. That's how you got all these conflicting stories. Don't let that happen again. It's hard being a White Sox fan. It really is, because it's almost like they go half-ass. I thought when they went into the rebuild, when they traded Sale, when they traded Eaton, I was happy about it. I wasn't happy that they traded these guys, but I was happy that they picked a lane. They said, this is the path we're going down. And now they are repeating the same mistakes they made in the past, half-assing it. Pick a fucking lane. Either go all in and get the guys you need and go win, because let's be honest, we don't know what's going to happen after 2021. You know why? Because there's a CBA negotiation that needs to happen. And if we learned anything, we know that the owner of the White Sox loves to negotiate CBAs to fuck his own team. Proof positive, case in point, look at 1994. The White Sox had a serious chance to go to the World Series and win it. Would they have won it? We'll never know. You know why? Because the owner of the White Sox was one of the hardliners that led to the strike, that led to the cancellation of the World Series. And people need to understand that we are marching down that same effing path again. You could see it coming a mile away. Anyone who lived through 94, I did. I kept telling people they're not stupid enough to cancel the World Series. They'll have this resolved so they can play the World Series. They're not that stupid. Well, guess what? I was the stupid one because I was wrong. I actually believed they were smart enough to understand what they were doing. Again, I was wrong. So I just hope that the White Sox see the chances that they have right now. Don't hope that you improve because the Indians trade Lindor. You know, why don't you go out and get Hendricks or get a good right fielder or get Bauer and force the Indians to do it. Don't wait for them to do it. Make them do it. Make the Twins take a step back and say, do we want to spend the money on Cruz, or do we want to sort of hold our resources for a couple of years because the White Sox are putting a stranglehold on the division? Make your luck. Don't hope for it. That's what I talk about with make your luck. I just have no confidence in this front office because, frankly, what have they given you to have confidence in? What have they shown you that they are committed to winning? What have they shown you? Tell me honestly, what have they shown you? Yes, they won a World Series, but this is a franchise that has never, ever had back-to-back playoff appearances. 10 playoff appearances in 120 years. It's a pretty sad and pathetic track record. Think about that. 10. 1906. 1917. 1919. 1959. 1983. 1993. 2000. 2005. 2008. 2020. 10. That's it. That's it. Those are the only playoff appearances that they've had. And you mean to tell me you don't feel the need to go all in when you have this prime opportunity presented to yourself? Please. Please. What happens if they do lock out in 2022? Are we going to see a repeat of 1995? The possibility exists. That's why you need to win now. Do it before the mess hits. Not only do it before the mess hits, but do it while you're primed to do it. It's not like you don't have the baseline laid out to contend and be a serious World Series contender. You have the baseline there. Don't waste it. I really wonder I'm really curious to hear what Cub fans have to say, because I hate to put it this way because it sounds so negative, but now Cub fans understand what it's like to be a White Sox fan. Welcome to the party. That's all I can say. I'd like to see the White Sox do more. I unfortunately don't know whether or not they will. And what frustrates me is I thought for sure with Tony La Russa coming in that it was Jerry's last stand in sort of a way, that he would do more than he usually does to bring a winner. Because why else bring Tony out of retirement? And why would Tony agree to this unless Tony knew he would get the resources he needed to win? And I'm not talking about winning a division title. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ring. Because remember, the ring is the thing. Ask anyone who's won one. They'll tell you the ring is the thing. I just don't understand what they're doing. And before anyone goes off flipping out on me, I understand there's still time left. Absolutely, there's still time left. And they may still do something. Not saying they won't. What I'm saying is, don't get caught holding your dicks while all the moves you want to make and all the players you want to bring in go elsewhere, and you're left standing at the dollar aisle picking up the scraps. You know what, everybody? That's all I got. Have a good night, and if I don't talk to you beforehand, Happy New Year to everyone. 2021 has got to be better than 2020. And with that, I'm out. Bang.